This is the High Excellence here. We get up to a incomplete resolution of Forma.8. Now, this is a Metroid video game, and it has will come off, as always. And we must get started. Now, I did paste some business snippets about this game, but I was more confused than else. But this seems to be an indie game that has some inspirations from Metroid. I wouldn't even know what was the whole purpose or what was the whole appeal, but this was given out for free as a PlayStation Plus usual. So you have PlayStation Plus, you will be able to pretty much get this game for free if you are a PlayStation Plus member. But that usually depends if you are. But that's not the point. I'm sure that when I post the first 3 minutes, you can't usually skip the start off screens, even though they were not really necessary. But you could use it to just play the game. Now you can't. Now I don't usually want to call it a platform mode. Since you don't actually stand on the platforms, you typically just fall around. So what I hope so far is that the story is all about. I think that the story is best, so you have to find your way out, advance with payments. I don't know. I mean, indie games are kind of weird. They don't usually specify which story that they usually have. Sometimes these indie games will make it more confusing to the point. And I figure the whole premise of the plot is they have to follow. I mean, you have to follow your dead comrades and retrieve the power-ups if you want to advance into the game. That's what I'm assuming, but you know, this game took some inspiration from, let's see, Inside and possibly, I think, I don't know. I mean, the game is not that bad. It's just that it has some artistic, damn it. It has an off phone, but the thing about it is that it gets weird by the general ambience that it has doesn't really make the game more alive. I mean, I'm more into the action-packed oriented RPGs, but if you're gonna play this is a Metroidvania, it needs to make it more exciting. But that's my opinion. So pretty much, I managed to be awake during the holiday season. I just finished gaining some groceries from, let's see, last week. It hasn't been anything different so far. I will say that it has to be a pain in the ass because I had to get some fluctuations for my business proposal. We're doing a huge project for our company, and we usually have to make some arrangements. I don't know. This year is gonna be different. Apparently there's been multiple reports about the fridge being confiscated or something by someone else, we don't know, from the workplace. So I'm going to assume it's not that difficult, but it is what it is. So probably by 2018, by next year, I might be able to get a new Instagram account. A couple of people have been sending me DMs, but it doesn't really appear in my DMs, even though So I might need to pretty much make a new account because, as I said, I don't really see the DMs. I say part of the reason is that, you know, when I start my Instagram account, I use an iPod Touch, maybe the 4th generation. No, I wouldn't even say that. It's just that my Instagram account needs to get new updates. Now, for this Instagram, it would be Eldritch Emperor. I know it sounds kind of corny, but I can't make the same name have the same account because ever since I created my old account, I have 800 subscribers, 800 followers. Now I had to start from the bottom, which means there's gotta be more process. You know, being an alternative artist for over 3 decades in the making, you have to understand that I had to get out of this, any hiatus. It's going to take a couple of times to give me something new, but I wouldn't even care about it because I don't really have much of the choice. And the thing about it is that when I usually play indie games that are usually are boring, I technically want to showcase them. But most of the indie games that I usually play have, reality. It's not as if I get bored easily. I have a great night pitch session today, so I should be more exhausted from before. It might be my uncanny sense of humor, or it has to be the fact that I'm not interested. I really know. Today is gonna be insane already. Yikes. If I sound so monotone, it's just because that I'm not really that much with these type of games. I don't know. It's a Metroid style of a genre, but it has no excitement. You just pretty much walk around exploring, and you move at a snail's pace. You could only pretty much speed up this momentum if you absorb one of your dead comrades' abilities from the souls. Which I don't even know what sense does it even make, but I don't know. The fact that matter is that the game works so pace. I actually don't really favor these type of games. I actually want the whole experience to be more exciting rather than repetitive. Is that too much to ask? Yeah, I posted a couple of memes on my channel. It's like I actually wanted to state, I don't know. I might get a GoPro camera for the next episode of Hannah Casserices. Because I figured that the problem with trying to skate and hold the iPhone at setting was difficult. I have to choose for the grip tape. It says that try to keep it balanced without dropping the phone. Granted, it has the case, the auto case to be exact, but I can't usually guarantee that it has more of a stated capability. With this, the actual quality has been deteriorating as I keep using the auto case. And there's been a lot of dust coming on, but I would even say it's a holiday season, and I wouldn't understand which Switch anymore. I will have to assume that will be the most exactly the case, but this overly on gameplay usually reminds me of Echo the Dolphin. If you never heard of Echo the Dolphin, it was a Sega Genesis game that was the first indie game. uh, I don't know. I mean, back in the day, there was a lot of experimental games for the Sega Saturn. And I think that this game pretty much replicates Echo the Dolphin. It's pretty much masquerades as a Metroid clone. And speaking of Metroid, I did play Metroid on an emulator way, way back. I think way back in 2013 when I know about this is emulators. I used to play a lot of emulators from my Crevo computer. Now I have a computer. Now apparently, now before I got the Cyberpunk PC, I have a computer that was installed with the Linux software, the Linux operating system. It was called Crevo. I don't even know what was the whole premise, but Crevo has a lot of software products and so party shite. I mean, half the software you can find on Crevo is that shite. The target demographic for Crevo was just for kids, I guess, with parents who couldn't afford the overpriced PCs, because I'm assuming that most of the young demographic couldn't even afford it. But that was kind of ironic to say the least, because I used to have a Linux computer. No, I have a Windows XP computer that that has an outdated software, and I will say that Linux computer has more of a Crevo. Then, needless to say, it was lagging. I had to assume that the reason the base computer was responsive with the Windows, because before Windows 10, I was stuck with pretty much with the Windows XP, because it was an outdated operating system by that time, and the RAM was not that great. The graphics card was not that strong, meaning that you could only play some games that was only 16-bit or 8-bit. So it was impossible to play some emulators. The loading speed with Crevo was so shit to the point where, I don't know. And after I got Crevo out of my operating system, we just still went back to Linux. Now it's not the fact Linux still sucks. I don't know what happens, but I'm assuming there was meant for people who want to travel to the dark web, using Tor. That's what I'm assuming. I have to assume that people use Linux to check out Tor, the darknet, without getting caught, because on Windows it was easy to code some of the locations because the operating system was easy to hack. But with Linux, it was its own unofficial operating system that was only different compared to Apple and Microsoft. And I did use part of the deep web for my school. Now back in my high school ages, during the math lab, yeah, it's actually a class. Apparently, I went to the math lab's computer, and I don't even know. There was this one computer that had Tor installed. So my math lab teacher, who only showed dedication to the Algebra 2 teachers, but not the geometry, hacked the DeepNet. Now I had to assume it might be one of the students that taught from the operating system, but I mean, back then you couldn't even download exe files from the teacher's computer, because you had to get an admin's approval from the teachers and know the password, and you don't even know the password because some of the students actually know the password. So I used the DeepNet, and I have to say it's pretty much uncensored. I saw my first grips on uncensored pornography that was so hardcore, even though I have no intentions about it. It was weird as shit. I mean, I never knew that from this day on, the deep web was easily accessible. I mean, with net neutrality, I have to assume that Elsa's occupied with pure title to net neutrality. I doubt if you are going to use the deep net because it's the only private internet browser that doesn't allow you to, I don't know, doesn't allow you to get spotted by the big brother, which is the government or the US. And I've been using Windows products, Windows 7, Windows XP. I've been using Windows 7 for over, uh, 10 decades. So it's been over 10 millennia or 10 eons since I actually knew about it. So I know about and see how Windows usually operates. From the editor systems, I would say that I'm stick because with Windows 10, I think the problem with Windows 10 is that it was a half-ass scenario. I never even enjoy Windows 10 because it keeps forced updating. The user interface seems to be more dysfunctional. They have a original user interface where you could go to any application from the start, but they took it away in the other updates, so it doesn't really give you back. It just takes away in one tone. I mean, my computer doesn't really have that much of RAM, but compared to that, it's way better than having to use a god awful. Because I would rather use Windows 7 instead. Because part of the reason why I never use Windows 10 is that if I want to use Windows 10, I can only use it on certain occasions. But Windows 7, it didn't have a user interface. It didn't update constantly every single time, whether it's one or two, so without your consent. You can always update your Windows computer where you want it. And they have this usage products where they keep updating, especially when you try to stream on an live stream on Twitch. It's not that simple. I mean, I could tell you that the sheer amount of embarrassment you have to deal with Windows 7 computers is not that great. And I also think that it should be that necessary even to actually create the software, know the operating system. That's why I stick with Windows 7 instead, because you can still play some high quality games on Windows 7. You just need to get a superior graphics card, a stable video driver, a high-end sound card, a better video driver, and a horsepower motherboard. You'll be good to go. You don't need to get a Windows 10 because Windows 10 doesn't really speed up the performance. It depends how much RAM you actually have. If you actually think about it, you should have the software, especially if you use it as for a school project for colleges. It's not that necessary. And with net neutrality, I often think that it's not really the most necessary case. I mean, there have been some cases where the Windows 10 computer was on its alright, but it's really the most inferior version compared to Windows 7. I mean, Windows 7 doesn't really get that much of the constant updates that you usually get from the operating system, but I usually wish that it would usually make it more simple. But hey, I doubt that game news really gives a shit. Speaking of Windows 10, I actually did test drive the iPhone X at the Apple Store. Apparently, my shop is located in 14th Street and it's next to the Chelsea Piers region. And apparently it was actually 10 times easier to actually find a store because where I work is actually way simple. I mean, I used the iPhone X, and let's be fair, it's shite. It's fucking shit. Oh my god. I, I don't even know why anyone will buy this thing. The iPhone X is such shit for a reason. The user interface has the user interface for the iPhone X is more difficult to maneuver than actually for Pro. What I always hear about the iPhone X is that the user interface is mostly difficult to maneuver. They took away the home button. Now I could usually deal with them take away the headphone jack because honestly I don't understand how you can actually have a charger and have it at the same time. But take away the home button that we actually needed. I mean, you could have just taken away the camera feature that's added a new screen scenario. And if they take the whole home button away, it's impossible to extract the apps. The only way you could exit out of the apps while not running in the background is if you pretty much hold the app you be selected for about a couple of seconds. Then you pretty much close your bypass the X factor. I mean, I'm not sure what was the whole. I don't know what was the whole of the core demographic, but I had to assume it was meant for. I don't know. I had to assume it was meant for Apple fanboys who are hardcore to the point. They don't really give a shit about the questionable design choices. They just care about the product. It doesn't be a lot of scalpers lately. I noticed that, and people say that, well, it's the fourth generation device. If you get it too early, it's gonna have major defectivity issues. But here's the thing: if I don't get the iPhone X sooner or later, there's gonna be scalpers still trying to take advantage of use. I mean, one minute that the iPhone X may be $999, the next minute they send it to 2,000 because they keep checking out the prices. And what makes it more annoying is that you have a situation where okay, I mean, the fact that it costs $999 to even get it is outside. I mean, it depends if you get T-Mobile, but even I've been using, let's see, yeah. I've been using T-Mobile as my service provider for over some years later. I don't really enjoy having a phone because the problem with having phones is that you have to pay honestly bills. And if I actually wanted to know about it, I just use the library to send information. Okay. So you could damage it. He's not even doing anything. Okay, so I guess you're not supposed to get the power up. That sucks. Yeah. I don't really understand why the iPhone X has to be necessary to even get. I mean, the iPhone 7 was working perfectly fine. There was something proposed about Apple slowing down the iPhone's battery lives by purpose. So suppose you can stay close to the boss too without even. So I guess you have to put the rice in the mouth. Oh no, the controls are simple, but the gameplay is just so tedious and often time consuming to the point where it just gets boring afterwards. I get that this is the intention of the indie game developers, but I don't really understand the core appeal. Okay, this is pretty much unplayable. I can't get to the next area till I manage to get that, but since the game is so slow to the point where I can't get into else, I might as well stop there. I talk more of the iPhone X in a later episode, but till then, this is pretty much it. Yeah, the game, I can't even get past to the final boss because of it. The game is so slow. This is kind of decent, but let's just have more variety. So this is pretty much the highest in this here. I talk more about the iPhone X in the other video, but happy holidays, take care, rat-a-tat-tat, and peace out.